United Citizens for Housing Affordability in Newton, or UCHAN, held its first of a four-part educational series. The presentation was an overview of the housing needs in the Metro West region.
On a cold Thursday night, dozens of Newton residents packed into this local church to talk about an issue that affects them all: housing. The event was the first in a four-part educational series put on by Uniting Citizens for Housing Affordability in Newton, or UCHAN.
The main goal for the series is to present the residents of Newton and elected officials and appointed officials an opportunity to learn some facts with respect to housing. It will, first of all, I think, help them to know what kinds of questions they should be asking, and then also to know when someone is saying something that is inaccurate.
Clark Ziegler, the executive director of Massachusetts Housing Partnership, talked about both the lack of housing in Newton and the greater metro area. One of the biggest issues, he said, was the spike in price.
What a lot of folks also don't realize is that in large part as a result of how little housing we have been building in the Commonwealth, our home prices have increased more than any other state in the Union. Massachusetts prices have increased sixfold since 1980. We used to be right at the national average. We were ranked 26th out of the 50 states in 1980, and now we have among the highest home prices, single-family home prices in the country.
This chart shows just how much those prices have increased, more than any other state in the Union. This surge in price has resulted in fewer homes on the market and even fewer ways to rent.
We're still tens of thousands of units short of where we need to be, which basically means this is failure. This means we really can't maintain what we have now in terms of jobs and state and local revenue.
Ziegler says it is important to understand just where Newton lies in the housing discussion and how our decisions could affect the rest of the state.
I know there's been a lot of history of activism in Newton on affordable housing and housing generally, and I think having a national and state context for what's happening is really critical, because some issues really relate to only to Newton residents, but we are really Newton is part of a region, part of a Commonwealth, and understanding how decisions made here have ripple effects, larger ripple effects around the state economy, I think is important for people to know.
The hour-long talk concluded with a Q&A session and a call to action.
We have a lot in front of us. We're doing great today as a Commonwealth, but if you look at the long-term trends, you look at our competitiveness, you look at the way we approach housing, there are real signs of trouble out there, and this is a time for us to really take stock and do things a little bit differently.
There are 3 other talks scheduled in this series, stretching all the way through May. More information on these talks can be found through UCHAN. Katrin Asif for Newton News, Newton Corner.